All right, so guys, Ibrahim is letting me play his piano. I'm about to play one of the best things you've heard. Like, I'm really good at this. I'm really good at this. Too easy, right? Hi guys, my name is Hachi and this is Zero to Scale, a video series where we talk to established African founders about how they built their startups from scratch. On today's edition of Zero to Scale, we'll be talking to Ibraheem Babalola, the CEO of Etap, a car insurance startup that makes car insurance as simple as taking a picture on your phone. Etap, right? Let's go get him. I can't curse on camera, can I? So I can't curse on camera, but the traffic is giving me reasons to curse. When people say they don't like Lagos, I understand it because I do get that it's a Friday and everybody's rushing to go home. But the gridlock is crazy. It's crazy. And I'm sure the founder is like getting pissed because he's supposed to have been at this place a while ago. Lagos will Lagos. At least hopefully we see him today.
One eternity later.
So for people watching, we're shooting at Ibrahim's house, and it really is a beautiful place. Like, I'd love to have a place like this sometime in the future. It's really, really beautiful.
Go on muster.
I should go on muster. And how long is the wait list going to be?
It depends. I mean, there are different things that generally influences how fast you can find a home. Sometimes people want homes that they can afford. Sometimes the homes that they like are not in locations that they want. So you can get a home in 24 hours, you can get a home in 24 days. It depends on, I guess, your destiny.
You used to work with Muster.
Yes, I used to lead Muster. Then I got hired from Muster by a payments company called Klein.
I think I know Clean.
Yeah, and Klein right now is building an alternative payment network that moves transactions away from the card rails. So, like moving transactions away from Visa and MasterCard rails, do you know what I mean? So essentially, I think maybe like end of the year, next year, you'll be able to go into like ShopRite, for example, and pay with your phone.
Oh, is that like tap to pay technology?
Tap to pay technology would be ancient compared to what like Klein is doing.
Okay. I'm looking forward to it. You said end of next year or this year?
Hopefully end of this year. I mean, I don't work there anymore, obviously, but hopefully end of this year. Klein is a serious company, a serious project. I'm looking forward to all the exciting things that they would do. So I got hired from Muster by Klein's board,
By the board, wow.
Ultimately, after like I think 2 years, my work at Klein was temporarily done. And I again stepped down to build the most exciting insurtech company on the continent. I mean, looking at the camera and saying it.
Yeah, it really is exciting.
It is, bro. It's incredible. Actually, no, sorry, it's all right.
Yeah, you can like brag about. You can brag about.
It's
not bragging if it's true.
So it's not bragging if it's true, but these days I'm trying to be like a little bit more humble. You see what I mean?
It's trying. It's really trying. But yeah, so you did Muster, you did Klein, and then now you're building Etap. It's pronounced Etap, right?
Yeah.
What does Etap mean?
Etap is an acronym.
Okay.
For easiest taking a picture. Because we think that car insurance should be as easy as taking a picture.
I thought it was going to be like Etap. When stuff is like really good and like, this stuff tap.
I guess it's like double entendre. I'd rather say that thing.
Double entendre.
Yeah, like Etap. Yeah. Etap actually taps. It's incredible what we're building. And I think that maybe the biggest challenge is that when people hear like insurtech or auto insurtech, because there isn't anything like what Etap has, I think that sometimes like the imagination of what Etap is a little bit limited. So we're having to do a lot of show and tell. Do you know what I mean? We say, okay, this is what we are, and let me show you the product. And we're backed by some global investors like the Toyota Tsusho Corporation, Grab Ventures, Nigerian Insurance, Newmont, like a lot of serious investors, and also local investors like Oga Idris Olorunnibe, who I completely love and supports in everything that we're doing. The Solufan Show, just like people that, you know.
These are like big wigs, big names.
Yeah, essentially, we thought it was important that we reimagined insurance using gamified driving pattern-based insurance to optimize the user experience and accelerate insurance penetration. We've essentially enabled drivers to insure in 90 seconds, make claims and have money in bank in 3 minutes, and reward them for driving safely. We use advanced mobile telematics to essentially show drivers how they're driving, how they're behaving on the road, score them for how they're accelerating, how they're braking, how they're turning, if they're distracted by texting and driving or making calls whilst they're driving, and use the driving score to continue to build an ongoing risk profile to ultimately do 2 things. One is to reward them for driving safely, where they can earn safe driving points and spend it on petrol, spend it on ShopRite voucher, Jumia, Samsung, Wizkid concert ticket, coffee, car wash, whatever it is, right? There's like over 5,000 things that you can get. And we're also using the drive score to ultimately reduce their premiums, right? So if
I saw that.
if you've demonstrated that you are not a risky customer over an extended period of time, we think that your premium should also dip, you know. Etap is the only car insurance product in Nigeria today that does risk profile based personalized premium. So what that means is, I think that both of us don't have the same risk profile, even if we have the same car.
Yeah, I think I'm less risky.
There's no way to tell. If there was a policeman here, they would profile you and say you're the more risky customer.
Actually, tell police to stop profiling.
To profile you and say you're the more risky customer with your all back. We think that the premium that you pay should be directly linked to your risk profile. So today, if you wanted to insure your car with any traditional provider, you get a blanket rate. Say, you want to insure your car, it's 3%, 0.5%, or 2.9%. And someone say, okay, we read that be Benjamin Dada Ben blog, and we saw one post that was nice. Okay, we'll drop it by 10 basis points on vibes, right? Ultimately, what we're doing is very serious work, and we're happy to be leading a reimagining of how insurance should work. We think that insurance should ultimately be enjoyable. Driving insights, safe driving points, driving score, crash notifications, emergency support, leaderboard, you know, all the gamification and the insights. That's how we're looking at it, you know. But as tech CEOs like to say, it's day one. For us, it's probably day 0, you know. But we're excited at everything that we're doing. You know, we think that Etap is an important step in the future of mobility insurance in Africa.
But I'm curious as to what gave you the idea for Etap?
So I think that there are a lot of problems here, and even if there are problems, there are a lot of things that we can optimize. And it's just as we see the things that we're being more passionate about, you know, probably some things that you're fixing in media that would never come to my mind as well.
Soon. I'm fixing profiling.
Somebody said to me very recently and said, you know what, I want to do a profile on you. And I said, why? And he says, because I think you're the master of the pivots. I'm like, what does that mean? He says, you know, like I've been following you for a while and you like to do new things, but not twice in the same industry.
True, because you went from pop tech to fintech.
I'm like, it's like you've worked in commercial banking, you've worked in investment banking, you know. You woke up one day and decided that people should pay their rent monthly and young people should be able to move into like plug and play homes. And when you felt like you had, you know, done some work there and, you know, some other person can carry on, you went to do payments.
So were you a co-founder at Monster?
Yes, I'm a CEO.
The CEO at Monster?
Yeah.
My God.
Oh, you know.
Then you got hired to lead Clean?
Yeah, you know. So that's when I went to do.
So you're an OG?
Come on, man. And when I thought that, you know, I'd essentially put the foundation for what the next set of years at Clean could build on, you know, I thought that it was time to attempt to fix car insurance.
Did you have any personal issues with car insurance that drove you to trying to fix car insurance?
I have dealt with insurance companies. I have bought insurance. I have claimed on insurance. I had an accident when my insurance had expired. But I'll say that those were just like contributors to the way that I thought about fixing it, not necessarily the drivers to fix it. Nigeria has one of the highest risk environments in the world and an insurance penetration of less than 2%.
Less than 2%, yes.
Francophone Africa, less than 2%. Anglophone Africa, less than 2%. Only maybe South Africa.
Why do people not get insurance more often?
I think that there's a plethora of reasons, right? There's a cultural reason. People think that Jesus is my insurer, and bad things only happen to bad people.
Bad people.
I cover myself with,
And of course, what are the things you look out for when hiring?
We hire two types of people. One side is like fresh people with a lot of potential. It doesn't matter what like you've done. If you think that, okay, you can learn this new stuff and you seem very enthusiastic and we test you and we're seeing that you've also done a bit of work, we'll hire that type of person. We recently gave somebody the entry into product management, crossing from being a customer success rep at Flutterwave, because again, we saw that she had done the necessary things to essentially upskill, right? And just needed the opportunity to become like a superstar product manager. That's the first side. The second side would hire like really experienced people that would say, this person will just come and help us. You understand what I mean? Like this person is just come and help us. Whatever salary we're paying this person is just to say, thank you. Thank you for coming. We look at culture fit as well to make sure that, because our culture is something that we sort of guard very passionately. So to make sure that the person's culture fit, like self-starters as well. Don't wait to be told what to do. And we make sure that there's a hiring manager for every role, but it also includes somebody else. I can't veto any hire actually.
Any. So you can't veto me.
So exactly. So I can't say, you must hire this guy, right? But I can recommend you to like people and culture and say, I'm thinking about this for this person. Can you speak to him? I guess like me saying, I'm thinking about this for this person is also like some sort of co-signing, like a strong recommendation. But if the hiring manager for that particular role doesn't feel convinced,
They have the autonomy to say.
Absolutely.
That makes sense, because at the end of the day, whoever's getting hired is likely to work directly with the hiring manager as opposed to with you.
Yeah. Let me tell you something that I'm working on regarding hiring, and this is a very important like passion project for me. So I'm working on a program that essentially gives temporary employment to people that japa whilst they're settling in their new country. So I think that the people that get to relocate are experienced people, and typically like there's that gestation period.
3 months.
Yeah, it's like 3 to 6 months where they're figuring things out. They don't know. They're looking for a new job. Because we're a remote team, we can give them employment, temporary employment, and pay them so that they don't have any window where they're unemployed, right? But I think that they would then help us with their experience.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I mean?
So there'll ideally be people who could hit the ground running,
Absolutely.
hit the ground running, achieve
Absolutely.
massive stuff within a very short time, and leave if they have to.
If you want to stay, sure, but if you find a local job that then pays you in the currency of where you've gone to, then of course, by all means. That's something I'm working on. It's very, very passionate. I think that we are essentially like abandoning like ridiculously good talents,
Just because they leave.
just because they leave. I'm still working out the kinks with Gift, our people and culture manager. I don't think she like sees it yet. The only reason why Etap hasn't started doing it is because like I'm not quite sure how I've thought about it like high level, okay, this is how it will work. But the people that would actually go through the process, like Gift, for example, she gets to think about it a bit more than I do.
Granular level.
Think about like the tax implication, the team dynamics implication,
Yeah.
when there's like a revolving door.
Maybe if the rules are sensitive, how that affects.
Today, Ibraheem is your teammate. Ibraheim is gone in 2 months. Chuka is now your teammate. How that makes you feel. Do you know what I mean? So I guess those are the kind of things that they're thinking about.
I'm curious to know what roles would you hire at short term?
Business roles, some part of like brand roles, some product related roles. So if you say, we've been stuck in the way that we're thinking about this, but this person has like a lot of experience and can come and help us because they're not as close to the product as we are, just to help us, think about it a bit differently. But you gotta hire engineers where they're in and out because, you need consistency like in building your product. The same thing with designer. Like a designer that gets on a project today doesn't have the luxury of, this is how we've come. This is why we didn't do it this way. This is what users complained about it before. That's why we moved this button to this place.
What's your background? Are you a traditional product person or business person?
Today I say like I am both because I'm very involved in like product development, but I am a really good business person as well and like managing teams in sales. My undergrad degree was in information systems, but I did a master's in international political economy.
I see.
You see that?
Like very.
I've worked in HR in a bank. I've worked in treasury at an oil company. I've worked in corporate finance, prop tech, payments. I've worked, as project manager. I'm doing some work in insurtech now. I've advised publicly listed companies as well as private companies. I've advised subnational governments as well. As part of the Lagos State delegation to Washington on the Smart City project in partnership with GE and Microsoft. So I have like a very like diverse, some of them are like short spans, some of them are longer spans, but it helps me lead a team because there is nothing anybody on my team is working on that I don't have like insights and be able to help out or contribute to, including like finance manager because I did CFA to a point.
It's been 5+ months since you launched the official public version.
Since we went live, still we haven't launched. When you say live, and I'm going to look at the guys behind the camera as well. When you think about like a product going live, what day is it that the product went live? Is it the day that you say, oh yeah, make we go live, like we're going live now, or the day that you submit to the app stores, or the day that the app store,
I'd say it's the day that the app store approves,
or the day that the app store approves, or the day that you get your first customer, or the day that you get your first, is it the day you get your first download, or the day that you get your first paying customer? I think that people think about launch because we've been forced to think about launch or associate launch because traditional companies used to have launch dates.
Yes,
right.
They do
where we gather everybody and do ribbon cutting. First Bank launched in 18 something because that's when they cut the ribbon. When does a company launch? Airbnb launched 3 times. Honestly, I think that in the next 5 years, there will be no interview done where they would say, oh, so you launched.
All right, so since then, what are the interesting numbers?
Is when we pushed out this version. I'd say that like the most interesting metric has been the number of kilometers that have been driven by like insured drivers on
How many do you have so far?
On Etap. We have over 1 million kilometers driven.
How many kilometers is the world?
40,075 kilometers.
40,075 kilometers, circumference of the earth, and you guys have done over 1 million.
Bro, like I saw you, it showed my app. I alone have done almost 10,000.
Yeah, 1/4 of the way around the world.
I alone have done almost 10,000 and I work from home. Our strategy is to acquire, then monetize. Would allow you use Etap even if you're not buying insurance today. Even if you have insurance with another company, right? Would even allow you set renewal reminders. And now we're about to introduce like a B2B side of things as well. Because a lot of insurance companies have then come to us and say, okay, can we leverage your technology within our product?
Yeah, 'cause I think it's going to be really cool for them.
And we don't mind though. Just, we don't mind at all, and we also think it would actually help accelerate our scale as well.
Yes,
you know.
yes.
I said to someone recently, I said, Namumu they do B2C.
Actually, no shade to B2C. Okay, all the shade in the world.
I said Namumu they do B2C. I know Etap is a B2C right now, right? I said Namumu they do B2C. I was like, yeah, because it's just more chaotic, right? You spend a lot more to acquire customers.
Yeah.
But what B2C does for you is that it helps you with like your marketing, it helps you with your popularity, it helps you with like your brand presence, you know? If Etap was fully B2B today, you probably wouldn't know Etap enough to say you want to do this interview.
Yes.
But to accelerate scale, you have to consider leveraging on businesses that already have communities. And that way you acquire one customer that gives you 50,000 customers, rather than going to acquire 1, 2, 3 till you get to 50,000. We're going to Ghana this quarter. We have like a lot of support from the Ghanaian Insurance Corporation, from our underwriter. Next year, we think that we would explore one francophone country as well, you'd say, oh, why are you thinking about all these countries when you haven't really even like
I was going to ask how is
scaled in Nigeria, right? You know, but the way that we think about it is that our technology allows us to scale very quickly. You know, we're not an insurance company in the core of it. We have an underwriter. Today, shout out to Tangerine, who underwrites for us and also invested in the business. Shout out to Eric as well, Chairman Tangerine. Every market that we go to, we just need to plug into an underwriter and we're good. You know, we're there, we're gone. So we're going to move very quickly. We're going to grow like this and grow like this as well. You understand what I mean?
Yeah, I get it.
So that's what we're thinking about scale. The technology already works everywhere. Like, set up your Etap. If you go to Ghana, you still see like your driving score and your points and stuff.
How are you currently acquiring customers and scaling your products?
So today we're acquiring customers directly, and some in some community clusters. So for example, we recently announced a partnership with MTN, the largest telco in Nigeria.
How did that happen? MTN.
So the thing with MTN is, I think that a lot of insurance companies had gone to MTN to partner, but they always went with, oh, you should buy insurance for your customer, you should, stuff like that. But as MTN started to reimagine themselves more as a technology company rather than a telecommunications company, you know, partnering with a company like Etap started to look a bit more interesting. What if we can give additional value to MTN customers? So MTN today, one of the things that they like are things where customers have to use data for, right? And not because customers are forced to use data for them, it's that customers are sincerely enjoying those services such that they continue to subscribe to data. We can give additional value to MTN customers with Etap and everything that Etap does and Etap allows them to do. What if we make it more interesting such that if you're an MTN customer, Etap wouldn't use from your existing data, right?
Yeah, I noticed that. So the moment I downloaded Etap, I got a push notification
From MTN, right?
I wouldn't do that. Yeah, that's sweet.
So now you have always on data or something.
Yeah,
like that.
I have always on data for
Etap,
like,
which is pretty dope, you know.
Which give me that for Twitter, so I don't pay for it.
Well, maybe when I become Twitter CEO, then we can run something like that.
Yeah.
So we did that with MTN such that, you know, MTN customers can use Etap free, and then MTN also obviously pushes Etap to their customers. It's a partnership that is huge for us. You know, we're very excited by it, particularly because we're a new company, right? Shout out to MTN CMO, who I think is the best. Who I think is the best CMO in Africa.
Team Adia here.
You know, yeah, I'm an Adia stan because I think that she gets it. Shout out to her. You know, I'd say that she made this happen. You know, she didn't force it. She just like said, you know, speak to Etap if you guys think that what they're doing is cool enough to collaborate. You know, sure. And they thought it was, and we moved very quickly. We have a partnership that we announced with Suzuki as well. You know, so if you go into a Suzuki dealership and you bought a new car, it's to come embedded with Etap. We're announcing a collaboration with a bank very soon. That your driving score, whatever your driving score is on Etap, will give you a discount on your bank charges.
Are you kidding me? I better be a bank I use. What
banks do you use?
I use a couple of banks. I use Standard Chartered, Access, UBA. I have an EcoBank account, but I didn't use them. Sorry, you guys should do better. And I have Kuda. I think that's the 5 I have.
Sorry, it's not a bank you use.
It's probably, is it Fugaz?
I can't say.
No, I just want to know if it's Fugaz. I'm not going to ask you on that.
I can't give you more than I've given you until it's announced.
You've told me it's not one of like 5 out of 20.
Yeah. Hey man, I'm lucky to be working with a very great group of people. I'm just looking forward to what the future holds for us at Etap. We think that we're going to do this across Africa. We think that we have an opportunity to do this outside Africa as well. So it depends on how we move. We're going to collaborate a lot with the insurance companies. I'm getting a vibe right now where some of them don't really understand us, so they think that like we're coming for their business. So there's a little bit of
pushback.
Not pushback. It's like head-on fight.
You're just trying to dance. You're not a fighter. You're just
no. I'm a lover. I'm not a fighter. But yeah, so hopefully they realize that we're happy to extend our technology, to them and work with them to unlock it, bro. I think that Nigeria and Africa has all the ingredients to achieve like a significantly deep in insurance penetration, right? You can notice that with everything that's happening, including the insurtech investments.
Yeah, they've been going up pretty recently.
Yes, because like people from outside can tell that we're about to do like a serious value unlocking. I think that insurtech right now is at the position where payments was like 5 years ago when Paystack and InterSwitch were starting. It's now to see like which insurtech companies will become the next unicorns.
What makes you think that? I mean, you did mention a couple of barriers to insurance in Nigeria, like for instance
So there's culture. There's accessibility. So today, do you have a car?
I don't.
Okay.
Maybe after the interview.
Do you know anyone that has a car?
Yeah.
How do they buy insurance?
I'm not sure of the process because, again, I don't own a car. But I know when he had to make a claim, I signed for him. And it took him probably like a month to get his claim done. And it was basically, it wasn't...
By the way, we've reduced that claim thing to 3 minutes on Etap. Anyway.
I mean, I'm pretty sure he'll
So
be
accessibility is a problem as well. I say that Nigeria is one of the few countries in the world where when your Netflix expires, it automatically renews. But when your car insurance expires, you have to call a guy. So we've reimagined that such that end to end, you can do that from your phone in 90 seconds and everything is done on your mobile phone. We've made it flexible today that you don't have to pay annually. You can do monthly, quarterly, whatever, right? More importantly, we've fixed issues around trust, because now we're using machine learning to profile your risk and essentially tell you why you're paying what you're paying.
Yeah, you can tell why your insurance premium is where it is.
Exactly, and would also help you through our mobile telematics to become less risky and pay, and pay less. There's things around complexities as well, where people just don't understand the processes for things like claims and things like, even buying insurance. The distribution as well, hasn't been really unlocked, which means that the insurance companies have to pay a little bit more to acquire customers. A lot of people have had to pick between like insurance companies with very complicated processes that seem like when their risk crystallized won't come through for them and not having an insurance cover. For a lot of people, the difference is not so much, which is why like companies like Etap are like fresh air. Do you understand what I mean? Because we've reimagined all these things, we've optimized and paid a lot of priority on user experience, and we're just giving people like insurance that they would love. But Etap is significantly more than insurance, as you know and as you can see. Let me bust your head. Car insurance in Nigeria is compulsory. If you have a car on the road,
yes,
you have to have car insurance. But only 1 in every 9 cars on Nigerian road has insurance.
I want to say something for the benefit of the viewers, because I don't think we covered this, but I think I caught earlier in the conversation with Chooks.
Shout out to Chooks, by the way. Chooks is my ear.
Yeah, and he did a very fine job of explaining how Etap works to us. Well, typically with a regular insurance provider, your premium is flat. It's a flat. You pay a flat fee every month. With Etap, your premium is not flat. And correct me if I'm wrong, in that your driving behavior this month can influence how much you pay. So on certain months, you could pay as much as 35% less of your premium, because...
That is correct, but it's not like a monthly thing, right? So we do a risk profiling at the beginning and use that to determine your premium, right? And then we continue to adjust the risk profile based on your behavior, and then on renewal, you'll be able to get as much discount as Chuka has said.
Yeah, so that means if I were a high risk driver when I joined Etap, a couple time periods depending on how my renewal is set down the line, if I improve my behavior,
you pay less.
I pay less.
And that's how it should be, right?
That's fantastic. Like, that's how it should be. The flat thing. Like, what are they thinking?
See, again, there was one time where we needed to put telephone lines from station to villa to house to this, and that was the best that we could do at that time. There will be people, there will be kids now that will be born now, they'll pick up a telephone handset and say, what were they thinking? You know, you always have the benefit of hindsight. Do you understand what I mean? You know, but I'd say that the insurance companies have done great stuff. It's also just important for them to also allow like technology-driven processes to essentially help some of their processes as well. You know, what team do you support?
Football. Why did you take me for a football person?
Came and you were bragging about FIFA now.
So we didn't get to play FIFA because of traffic and whatnot. I support Real Madrid.
What does that even mean?
What does that mean? Real Madrid, the best club in the world.
Are there Nigerians that support Real Madrid?
Yes.
How did you become a Real
My
Madrid
dad
supporter?
was a Real Madrid fan.
How did you become a Real Madrid
My dad was a
supporter?
Real Madrid fan.
How?
I don't know. I just woke up one morning as a kid and my dad was supporting Real Madrid. I was like,
Did he live in Spain?
They wear white. He didn't. He lived in Nigeria.
You live in Nigeria?
Yeah.
And so from where now?
I don't know. I wish I could answer, but from as little as probably
Typically
5.
when Nigerians start supporting teams, it's probably because like, back in the day, maybe one Nigerian played there.
I think it was because of the Galacticos era where a lot of like the top footballers and some of his top footballers played there. And then growing up, those were also footballers that I liked watching, and they also played there. So I was like, oh yeah, this is a great team to support. And they wear white too, which was really cool because football is a dirty sport, and wearing white kind of signified that it was something different. It was not the blues and the what club do you support?
It's not Arsenal.
It's for Arsenal. I think I get where all the pushback was coming from. Success has many enemies.
Oh, that's funny. That is funny. Is this success has very heavy? By the way, are you guys seeing my Etap drip?
Yeah, it has tire tracks. Where are the tire tracks?
Yeah, like melted tire tracks that
Melted tire
melts from
tracks.
here into here, and this and that. It's pretty dope.
Can I, as a non-Etap person, get? I don't know what. Can I get one of this?
You can get a t-shirt and like a merch box, but like
I get
the
this.
jackets are for like, really special folks.
God.
Sorry.
I will not take the shade
Sorry.
to heart.
Sorry.
But I'll rob him for the jacket. But yeah, as you've built a couple of businesses so far.
Try my best.
I will try my best to. None of the ones that I've built so far I've gotten off the ground. But after I met him, I'm like just going to tap into his wealth of knowledge. And
Like that's the best thing when you have like ideas that you put some effort in and it doesn't like take off, because you learn a lot about things that you shouldn't do, and then when you do the next one,
you don't make the same mistakes.
you don't make the same mistakes. You essentially learned how to do it better, even if it's a different idea. That sounds like all this dirty online motivational speech, right?
Just as in person, he's motivating me in person. But I actually agree, because I have learned some lessons, and when I'm talking with like people who have, and I'm experienced, they're like, oh yeah, that makes sense. You should feel a bit more. I'm like, yes, I will. But I just need to get the bread first.
Just that in Nigeria, we punish failure.
Yes.
We see failure as what you shouldn't associate with.
Every new venture comes with new lessons, and I'm wondering, what are some of those new lessons you've learned from building Etap?
Honestly, a lot of the things that I'm using in building Etap were like lessons that I learned at Clean.
Okay, give me your top 3 lessons you've learned from building businesses over time that you always carry over.
Build for the customers and not for yourself. Take a step back from the product. You're too close to the product to see everything. Know your audience. So knowing your audience means that like the pitch that you pitch to customers to sell your products cannot be the pitch that you give to investors. In the past, I think that's even I used to make that mistake. Would speak like customers speak to investors. Do you understand what I mean? Which gives you the oh nice, well done. But not really like the firepower and the checks that you need to build a business that you want to build. Have the right team, because your team will essentially help you get there faster. They say that if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far. See, sometimes customers can frustrate your life. But if you get through the customers that frustrate your life and you take learnings and understand, like if you can solve for them. I like customers that complain.
The ones that just leave.
Yeah.
I'm the type to just leave.
I
won't even contact your support.
I like customers that complain. I like customers that complain because you can essentially find out what you need to do better, And once you do it better, and that customer comes back and gets a really good experience, you have an evangelist for life. So I think those are the lessons that I would say, okay, that I keep using, you know. But every company has its peculiarity. I think that one of the things that is different about Etap is that Etap has a very, very young workforce.
Gen Z.
Now we essentially had to unlearn all the things that we went through working as millennials with boomers.
Yeah, that's a wrap from us. Ibraheem Babalola, CEO of Etap, and it's been a pleasure.
Hey guys, thank you for watching. Man, thanks for coming here. I know that this wasn't the original set for the interview, but Lagos Traffic has shown you.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
Shout out to Twitter for verifying us with our small followers.
Wow, I need to learn how you put that off because I have more followers than you guys, and they're not verifying me.
Maybe you're not cool. Thanks for this. Thanks to Dada Ben Blog as well for setting this up. Appreciate it. Who's on mic in me?